I got echo somewhere. Hello, everybody. I want to welcome everybody to Vibe Time. I hear an echo back there, so we'll fix that in a minute. And StreamYard, because we're doing two things at one time. Welcome to the Paranormal Roundtable, but I have a couple of announcements I need to make before we get David Flowers and John Savage on the air with me, as far as taking them off of mute. On the 21st of May at the Cabin on 360, Holly Mullins and Dallas Adams are coming out there we're going to have a private investigation there, and they're also going to be doing a seance there. So if you haven't got your ticket for that event yet, please go to the Cabin on 360's page, and the event is listed along with a couple of other events out at the Cabin on 360. And as usual, y'all, if you want events or the things paranormal adventures for people, go to John Stevens' website at www.virginiaparanormalevents.com or go to Virginia Paranormal Events on his Facebook page. So we have a lot to discuss in an hour, and that takes the time. So I'm going to take everybody off of mute, and we're all going to be having some nice discussions. Paranormal Roundtable. Hello.
Hello.
All right. How are we doing? Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. I guess let me check comments. Okay. Let me check comments. I'm sure somebody will let me know if they can't hear us. Let's see. Nope, I don't know where that static is coming from, as usual. I don't know who's on with us. So, yeah. Static? I can. Okay. I don't know where it's coming from. I'll figure it out. I see my internet wants to act up figures. All right, let me see. I know it never fails. Might be the ghost playing with the show.
Or at least someone's energy.
Yeah, can't be mine. There. How about you?
Yeah, you got your hat on, so you're safe.
I don't know. Never know. They might come kidnap me today.
Gonna have to call you Teletubby.
I know, Teletubby. That works for me. So, what are some things that we wanted to talk about?
Yeah.
Hi, Vanessa. Hello?
Okay, there you are. What am I doing?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing either. Maybe it's I'm hearing something and it's static. Maybe it is my my aluminum something. I'll put it over there.
Yeah, I hear no static. Y'all are clear.
I hear it in the line.
Yeah,
if anybody's watching the show on Facebook, can you post in the comment if everything's clear, or can you if you're hearing us clear, please? Because I keep hearing a little static. We'll see. Okay. I'll just start. Pareidolia. Can we talk about that, please? Because, people get on my nerves. me, Paul Shields and I are always laughing because people post all these beautiful pictures to include myself. And look, it's a ghost in the window. I did it last night. I'm like, look, there's a ghost right there. And then I get David Flowers telling me it's just a reflection. I'm like, no. It's not a reflection. Let's go over that.
Well, I mean, it's one of the downfalls of the paranormal. I mean, a lot of people take a photograph of something like a window, for example, and you could have a reflection of the tree branch on the outside, and people say, "Look, I can see a face." It's the mind trying to make sense of an image and trying to make a picture out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get that with, exo mist or smoke, or clouds or dust or dirty windows and grainy pictures. It's a common natural response that a person will have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we get it all the time at the Manor House that the guests will come up and say, "Hey, look at this," and it's the light reflecting off the window, reflecting off of something else, or the street light. And some people might know pareidolia is matrixing, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mind playing tricks on you.
Who comes up with all these stupid definitions of everything? Like elementals, intelligent spirits, shadow figures, pareidolia. I mean, who where does all that stuff come from? It's annoying.
You can get the same thing with the audio side of it. I mean, there was a TV show I think it was called Mind Games. And they did an experiment where they had this woman pronounce this word da, D-A. And she kept saying da, da, da. And after a minute, everyone heard her. Everyone thought she changed the word da to la. It was the mind getting bored and then hearing something different, even though she never changed the word. So you can get that in the audio side.
I'm wearing this tomorrow. I dare you to say something. It's my new cap.
I'm gonna have to buy you one.
Better be the team colors, green and black.
Okay.
That way I can match.
Okay. Well, tonight is beige.
I see that. I don't have a hat like that. I'll be out of place. I'll just stick with my UFO. Let me get my aliens.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a common problem in the paranormal field is seeing something that's not really there.
Yeah. Which brings me to our favorite subject of orbs. And the only reason why I keep bringing it up is because I keep getting sent all these pictures of orbs, and then I have to tell people it's not.
Oh, look, an orb.
Yeah, my cat's sitting in my lap. If I pet her good enough, we'll get some elongated orbs.
Yeah, I mean, 99% of the photos out there, it's dust particles, it's moisture, it's cat dander, it's something environmental.
All right. So what about video? Like, how do you tell the difference? Because I get sent a lot of videos in regards to that also.
Well, Dave and I were talking about that Saturday with a video that he had.
Mm-hmm.
And in his video, it's just one anomaly that comes shooting out. Now, if it was something that was like dust related, you would see multiple anomalies going past the camera in the same direction, generally in the same direction, almost in the same speed, and sometimes those zigzag just a little. But if you're watching a video and you see looks like a snowstorm, that's not paranormal. That's dust coming from the vent or being stirred up in the environment,
Mm-hmm.
being moved by current.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went back and forth on that video.
I would say that was a bug. But
Or the orbs gotcha.
Yeah, or the orbs got me. So,
yeah,
it's just, I don't know what the problem is. I put booster pods in. It was supposed to boost the internet. It's right in the hallway. That's not doing anything. I personally think it's StreamYard because I don't have any other time, any other problems during the week when I'm on the internet trying to do something. No problems at all. As soon as I try to get on StreamYard, and do a show and run Blog Talk, it's an issue.
It might be a bandwidth problem, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows?
So we'll see. Could be.
Well, David had a really good question earlier. You want to talk about the difference between ghost that's irritating and demonic?
yeah, because I get people come up to me all the time and they're saying, "Oh, this is a demon. Or I have a demon." What makes you think it's a demon? Is
And I'm just looking at it right now online. A demon is an evil spirit or a devil, especially one that is possessed some sort of person, or a forceful, fearful, or skillful performer of a certain activity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a new one. I think with the word demon, I think we have to be careful with it because that has a lot of religious overtone with Christianity.
Right.
Because not all faiths recognize a quote unquote demon as we would in Christianity with the Catholic Church and what have you. I think with a demon, you're dealing with something that's more that's never been alive. I think it's an entity that's really heavy in energy
Mm-hmm.
versus a ghost that's just annoying. That's just a total a-hole. I mean, it's a big difference. I mean, if it's something demonic, you're talking about possession, you're talking about changing in personality, you're talking about, behavior changes,
Mm-hmm.
there's smells, there's odors that usually come with it. Where if you have a spirit that's just noisy or a ghost that's just noisy and irritable or irritating, then, they're just knocking things around. Just a typical poltergeist situation.
Yeah, but what do you do with people that allow, like,
Yeah. Where within intelligence, I mean, they have awareness of themselves to a point, but we don't know to what degree they have an awareness too. But they have an awareness of themselves, maybe the environment, and maybe the people on the physical plane.
That every Tuesday, my hotspot, because it seems to work a lot better than my actual internet that I pay God knows how much for. All right, there we go.
So the between a demon and a pissed off ghost, it sounds to me more like it's a smell. So with the demon, you usually have a smell.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some similarities between the two. I mean, like physical attacks, scratches, and things like that. So, but when it comes to the smell, I mean, if it's like I don't want to say sulfur, because that's like a cliche when it comes to demons. But there's like a bad, rotting smell. That's a sign right there. And if you start being possessed and talking in different languages or talking in tongues, again, if we're going to go in with the Christianity version, I mean, that's a sign right there. But I do find it interesting that demons can only speak Latin.
Yeah, that is interesting. Why is that?
Yeah.
Speaketh.
Maybe they didn't get hooked on phonics. I don't know.
Could be. But that is interesting, though.
That's the first I've heard that. Because I have zero experience with demons. Thank God.
All right, so the shapeshifter people, the spirit that can change from like a ball of, let's say, like a little bit of black smoke, and then they shift into something else, slithering along a wall, and then they manifest into a person. Isn't that like those what is it called, shapeshifter?
I mean, are you talking about someone seeing like some sort of ecto mist, and it goes from a mist to a solid?
I've had that happen to me. That's why I'm asking that question. I just don't remember anything from the incident. I got it on a record, which I won't listen to. But it did go
I've never heard of a shapeshifter.
Yeah, it went from black mist to slither, and there were other people in there watching it. So keep in mind, hi Steve, it wasn't just me. I was with like 6 other investigators, and then it went from that to manifesting in front of me as a solid. And then they took me over, and then I don't remember anything.
I mean, it could be just the entity trying to get it back together, so to speak. Going from a mist to a solid, trying to manifest itself, trying to pull energy from the environment. But I don't think it would be a shapeshifter. Kind of like going from a ghost to, a snake or a horse or a TV stand.
Yeah. Because we're still trying to figure out if that was
demonic.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out if that was demonic or not.
No, I think that if something was demonic, you would know.
I wouldn't, because I don't remember anything.
But then again, you will see things. Different cultures, will have different ideas. I mean, I know back in Minnesota, we were friends with a lot of good people from the reservation, and they would talk about entities that were earthbound or nature bound, and they were able to change their appearance.
Yeah. Steve White said the Native Americans totally believe in shape shifting.
Yep, they do. I've never seen it. I mean, I've seen a mist go into an apparition form real quick, but I've never seen anything that's changing into like an animal or anything like that.
Well, I don't know what it changed into. When I got there, it was a black swirl of smoke, and I kept watching it go around the room. And I'm like, it was enough to where I could see what it was. And I was telling him, I'm like, you know what? I just keep seeing this like smoke mist, like. And then after they saged one part of the house, or they were cleansing one part of the door, I seen it sliver back into this patio door because they were, doing things around the patio door, trying to clear the house out. And it came back into the patio door and slithered along the wall. And you could see it slithering like a little snake. It wasn't a snake, but that's how it moved. If I had to describe it, that's how I would describe it. And it was hiding behind stuff, it was strong enough where it was able to manipulate the temperature of the room. It was strong enough to make me tired. And then it was strong enough to push my head down into my chest and sit in me. And then I don't remember anything. It was a very strong spirit. And see, I just named it a spirit now. And I, like I said, I have that on record. So it's not like I don't have what I'm talking about.
Right.
I do have it.
To me, that does sound like a demon, not a spirit.
Well, yeah, my whole voice altered, my whole eye color changed, everything changed. My sister was sitting right there freaking out.
But that's what happens when you channel too.
Yeah. And I wasn't even, but you know what? I wasn't even trying to do that. I was sitting there actually at that time, if I remember correctly, I was getting ready to eat me a piece of candy. I was eating me some chocolate. We were all sitting in the room talking. And then all of a sudden it got cold. Real cold. It was very interesting.
That almost sounds like that almost sounds like a forceful channel.
Yeah. Could be.
That would be considered a possession.
Yeah. It was very interesting. It was an interesting possession, I can tell you that.
Sounds spooky.
Yeah, very. Like I said, I have it on record. I won't listen to it. I have it, and I just won't. I don't want to channel it back, so that's why I don't listen to it. It's in the deep depths of my recordings. I just don't remember anything.
Did anybody else see anything?
They were too busy working on me. But as far as the sliver and as far as the smoke, yes. Because initially it was running from us from one room to another, and you could see where it was going, and they were trying to snuff it out. And I guess they thought that they had snuffed it out at the patio door, but as soon as they did that crack, they cracked open the patio door, it just slithered right back in. And the only thing that I could think, the only thing I can think of is that, that spirit may have picked up, okay, she can see me, because, they do that to you sometimes. People laugh at that, but with me, they will say, oh, so you can hear me. That was my reading today. You can hear me. And the man was so excited. He was talking so fast. I was trying to slow him down, but he was excited, and he wouldn't let anybody else talk with this young lady I had today. So I'm just wondering if it was like, oh, she can see me, so let me do this.
That's interesting. It could be that that entity was so excited that you're acknowledging him or it, and it's just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go to the next level.
Yeah, I wonder that sometimes.
That was in violation of your personal space and of your body.
Mm-hmm.
Totally out of bounds.
Definitely. Now today was okay because today I was like, okay, you got your permission to give messages, but of course they don't have permission to step inside me. Um,
Right.
they just don't. And but I'll welcome any messages. And so and she, ended up messaging me back and validating everything because I let people when they do my sessions, I let them all record their sessions. I have nothing to hide. Record away. Let's see, all right, Steve White, we were talking about this today, who comes up with all these different paranormal theories. I know a lot of it has to do with paranormal research coming from different individuals. It can very confusing when talking about shadow people, poltergeist energy, and so on. Everything we know is basically based off of a theory. Yeah, I get confused with all the little, when people say, is that elemental? And I'm like, what the hell is that? Because I see dead people. I talk to them. I don't look at it as, okay, this is an intelligent spirit. This is a shadow figure. This is an elemental. This is that. I just know that they're talking to me and I don't try to break down what it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you do the same thing. I mean, you're able to communicate like I am, but I'm like, and for the longest time, I didn't even know they were considered residual hauntings. I would see imprints of stuff and I would see things going back and forth. And I'm like, oh, well, he's not going to talk to me. He's just going to be doing his job. But I never associated that with what the actual definition of that was. I just know I'm seeing a dead person walk back and forth.
And I think that's one of the problems with the paranormal field is there's so many different definitions out there for the same thing.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
Yeah. Yeah. Very confusing. So I'm just going to get my shirt that says I see dead people, not elementals, not shadow figures, not this, not that, and put it all down there and say, don't confuse me. I'm a blonde. I get confused easy.
Well, that's just a given.
I mean, they don't call me Dizzy for nothing.
True.
I'll own that.
Not gonna say it.
No, don't say it because I need to know Anita somewhere along the lines back there, and she'll probably crack you in the back of your head.
She's nodding her head.
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. She loves me. She loves me probably more than you. So told you. Yeah.
Hey,
yes.
John,
Steve.
Are you a doubter?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay. Next time you come out to the manor house, I want to test something.
Okay.
As Jerry and I think we found Mr. Tolliver's grave last night.
Interesting.
Yeah. And we're not going to tell you where we think it is. We want you to go out and see if you can find it.
In fact, Anita just yelled, "Don't come out too."
Okay.
Yeah, come on out.
Just don't do it on the 14th because I won't be there.
Perfect time to do it.
Oh, well, y'all can do it on the 14th. Yeah, go for it. But then I'll miss seeing Anita. I don't care about John Savage. I want to see Anita. Sorry, John.
Oh, well. Oh, you just
last night, Jerry and I, we broke out the dowsing rods. We walked through the tennis court area. Our rods, they were crossing at the same time.
Yeah.
And then said, let's go see if we can find Mr. Tolliver's grave.
Yeah.
And we walked over by Eliza's grave and she did it her way, I did it my way, and so we just kept everything in our heads, and we ended up at the same spot.
Interesting.
It was very interesting. Yeah. Yes, Steve, I know I know a lady that I don't know her personally, but I know of a lady that douses for graves, but she doesn't do that anymore. So it's unfortunate because she was really good.
Yeah, I never doused for graves before. That's something different.
Yeah.
I mean, I can give it a try. I'd be willing to try that.
Yeah. The way I see it, it's dousing for a grave is like dousing for anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just have to change your mindset. Instead of looking for water, you're looking for a dead person.
Right.
So were you putting the intent out of finding just that one person?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I started. We were just looking for graves.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they were across. We had ended up with the same answers. Then I said, okay, let's find Mr. Tolliver, that one specific grave, and we ended up at the same location.
That would be interesting to see. Yeah, we can definitely give that a try.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting that we ended up at the same location.
There we go.
Do you have that written
You
down?
just asked me a question.
Oh.
There we go.
So.
Yeah, let's give that a try. I'm curious.
Well, when you're coming out on a Saturday, don't come out on the 14th. Unless you come by yourself, because if Anita's coming, then you can't come. I mean, you have to come with Anita, but I won't be there on the 14th. I won't be back there until the 21st. No, I'll be there during the week, but the 21st, as far as a Saturday.
She'll see what she can do.
Yeah, don't come without her, or you can just stay at home.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Wow, that was forceful.
I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah. Well, you know where your lot in life is.
It is what it is.
What?
You know I just thought of? If you did dowsing for the graves, it would be neat to do like a map overlay of the back area where the tennis court is and everything, and just walk and have someone with dowsing rods mark where the graves are and mark it on the sheet or on the paper, and then look at it when you're done and see if there's like a spacing, unless they did a mass grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
kind of did do
a really
that.
good idea. And last night, at least with mine, my rods they would cross. I would take a few steps, they'd straighten back out. Take a few steps, they'd cross, they'd straight back out.
Yeah, I kind of drew mine. Wait, I don't know how to hold the book up. Right somewhere down there where those, see those little boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because that's what I was being shown. You know, when you start doing stuff like that, you get shown certain things. And I mean, that's just intuitively, you know, when I'm dousing, sometimes I keep my eyes closed because I'm right here. And it was almost like a picture back in time. Whole body. It wasn't like one big hole and let's dump all the bodies in there.
Right.
But I'm going to shut that up because y'all have to come out here and do it.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't want to say too much about it.
Yeah, no more. Don't say too much.
My poor stomach.
I mean, you could almost bring like a handheld GPS or use GPS on the phone and mark it.
Do they have that where you can set stuff up on a phone? Like, do they have an app for something like that?
Oh, God, yeah. I'm pretty sure they do.
They got an app for everything.
Well, what would it be considered then? Huh?
They have an app for everything except common sense.
I was trying to see if they had like I don't know, like a grave marking app but I can't get internet.
No, I mean, all you really need to do is just get a piece of paper and a phone that has a GPS coordinates, and you just mark it with the GPS, and then you just overlay it on like Google Map or something.
Got that, David Flowers? You're the techie person on that.
Hey, I'm gonna write that down. I might be the techie person, but I'm only I can remember as far as I can write.
So it's kind of like it's kind of like coordinates and a grid map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me look at that. They got a grid.
I got a topic here.
Yeah, go for
Here's
it.
one for you. Okay. So I was talking to David about this. So online, I saw something about a boot camp for kids.
Oh, you mean the one in Jersey?
I think so. It's something I saw on Facebook.
Yeah, it's probably Jody Nettles SOS boot camp for kids and ghost hunting.
Yeah. I personally think that's a bad idea for kids. On many different levels. I mean, first of all, I don't know what the age group that was for. So, I mean, if it's for teenagers and stuff, I mean,
I think it is. I think it is, and I think their parents they have full permission, and it's a day. I'll go in there and I'll tell you because she talks about it all the time. It's a SOS Team Paranormal group camp.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it is for teens, and they go to a different place. It's not something where they like stay overnight at a location or something like that. They go during the day, and it's like their parents, I guess, pick them up every day.
See, here's my issue. I mean, it's bad enough as an adult. We're dealing with something that even we can't protect ourselves from.
Right.
Time to time. And we can influence. Now you're going to bring kids who have a higher energy level to a haunted situation and have them interact with a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, that's dangerous. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for a spirit to latch onto these kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kids, unless the parent has been doing the paranormal, they shouldn't be messing with it. They're too young to too influenced at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once they hit 18, 19, 20, they have a good understanding, what the paranormal might be.
Right.
It's you can tell them, hey, this is what can happen. But younger kids, I think that's a really bad idea, and it's something that it's irresponsible to do for kids. That put them in a situation and to teach them how to ghost hunt. We have adults who can't even do that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and plus the teenage girls going through puberty, that's the biggest magnet there is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
And plus,
teenage girl being one, and then throwing puberty into it, all those extra hormones going into it. Yeah,
they're walking EMF pumps. And plus, now you're going to teach these kids, okay, you can go to a haunted location, and here's the tools. That's still dangerous because they really don't understand what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you can give them a recorder and say, hey, here's how you do
Right.
but you're not teaching them the basics of how to do it correctly. And now these kids are going to go, hey, I can become a ghost hunter. Let me go to the local cemetery.
Right.
And kids in this day and age, they're not responsible. They don't have self-respect for themselves or other people's property. And we want to let them loose to do so-called ghost investigations. Bad idea. I mean, and if I was a parent, I wouldn't let my kids go. I mean, the paranormal is not a game. It's not a TV show. It's not a sideshow. It's not a freak show. It's not a circus. It's something that's real, and it does have consequences if you don't do it correctly.
Well, that's why we talk about, like David and I talk about certain things, certain signs. You got to know what to look for, in changes, even in an adult, especially an adult.
But
so
are these kids going to be taught that?
I don't know, because I'm not there. I just know that, I mean, I've taken my kids to haunted locations.
Oh yeah, I've taken my daughter here, but it's under my supervision.
Right,
and
right.
Us being professionals in this field, we know what to do. We know what to look for. We know when to stop what we're doing.
Right.
But these families, they don't have an idea.
Right. And I think with her camp, it goes a little bit beyond that. There's a lot of people that come from the paranormal field, like Ghost Brothers, for instance, and they'll sit down and they'll talk to the kids. She'll have Reiki masters come out. She'll have different psychic mediums come out and talk to the kids about their abilities, because some of these kids, have abilities to communicate, and they're confused and don't know how to use those either. I mean, I work with kids all the time that have that as far as one-on-one, but I think it goes a little bit beyond just the let's go paranormal ghost hunting. I'd have to get Jody on the show, Jody Nettles, because it's her camp. I would have to get her on the show for her to break it down.
Yeah, like I said, again, I'm looking at it from an investigator point of view and from a parent point of view. I mean, you brought up a valid point. Kids can see spirits because their energy is a lot lighter than us.
Right.
They haven't really been polluted by society and not to believe. But if you take a kid to a camp like this and say, you know what, you have special abilities, you can see ghosts and everything else, and then you send them home, they're going to go, hey, I can talk to dead people.
Right.
Let's go to a local cemetery, or let's go, to a place that's haunted or something, unsupervised, and there's no one there to protect them and to watch them while they're using their abilities.
Right.
So now they're going to put themselves in a situation which is harmful for them both physically and spiritually.
Right, but it's almost on the flip side of that. It's almost like, I think that she does teach them certain things as far as what certain things to look for, because just as well as I do that kids are going to go, what if they go out there on their own without any knowledge, being armed whatsoever. I get kids all the time that come to me for Reiki that have these same abilities that I have, and my job is to teach them how to become in tune with themselves. Now, what they do, unfortunately, when they leave my office is a whole different thing. But I know that I can, because they're confused. I grew up confused with my abilities and felt so alone, as if I was just alone in the world, because that stuff was taboo and you didn't talk about it. So the kids that come to me now, and I have several, I don't want them to feel like they're alone, but I also try to teach them to safeguard themselves too, and not to put themselves in those situations. Don't go and do things by yourself. David and I was talking about it last night. If something happens to me, what is he going to do? If my demeanor changes or his demeanor changes, what is our plan for that? Because it hasn't happened yet. But what happens if it does? What is our plan set up for that?
Exactly.
We have to work hand in
Now, here's
hand.
the other thing. The other side of this camp is the legal side.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say by chance my kid goes to it. Okay, they have special abilities, yada yada. They go to a cemetery. They use their abilities. Something happens. I guarantee you, in this day and age, that family's going to go. I'm going to go sue that person because they taught my kid how to do something that's unsafe.
Right.
So now we've got the legal side of it kicking in, and then that's going to make what we do as paranormal investigators even harder because we're going to be looked at as, they're teaching young kids how to go talk to dead people and ghosts, and these kids are being affected.
Right. You know what? No, I agree.
No,
with you.
I there's just a lot of,
yeah.
at least for me, I think it's inappropriate at that age. I mean, if they're 17, 18, 19, okay, I can run with that. But when they're like, 10, 11, 12.
I don't think she takes them that young like that. Let me get to Steve's question real quick. He said, question for anybody going on a haunted location. Do you think that somebody's personal mindset can have a lot to do with the results? Results you might get meaning people going in with good attitudes versus people that might be depressed or other people going with a bad attitude. I think a mindset plays a big part in stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you can't go to certain locations with a shitty mindset or they'll pick up on that. And you're screwed.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you go to an investigation and you're, or a haunted location, and you're in a bad mood to begin with, I mean that can influence you and the investigation itself. Like attracts like.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
Or if you're depressed, that might open you up for something that's not so nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, if you're depressed and you're at a place that's haunted, I mean, like you just said, you can be influenced by that.
Right. I have found the chipper the group, the better the evidence. Yeah, that's true. I would agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, if you go in and everyone's in a positive mood and everyone's enjoying themselves, they're not afraid, they're really into it, I think you get better results versus going in with a bad attitude, because that's going to bleed over to the team that you're with too.
Yeah, I agree with you.
In a bad mood, people are going to pick up on that.
Debbie Downer. I'll tell you what, the group that we had this weekend, and they were female women that I did not know, but we grounded very well. We did some really good grounding prayers. Everybody had a positive attitude. Everybody's energy was high. Nobody was like, or nobody was a Debbie Downer, and everything went very well. One team got really good evidence on some things. It just went well. The vibe was there. The positive energy was there. Like I said, there was nobody there that was depressed. There was nobody there that was moody. Everybody just clicked, and it just went very well, to the point I didn't even, how you're at an event like that, you're overnight, you come home, you might have a paranormal hangover or whatever. I didn't even get anything like that. I mean, I was tired, of course, because I was out of my schedule, but it wasn't one of these, oh my God, I got my head, I need to stay in bed all day. It wasn't that type of stuff. And I think that the prayers and the positive attitudes played a very big part in that.
Well, I think that plays a part in every investigation. Even if you're doing a private residence investigation, if you can get the client to settle down and not be afraid and look at it with a positive note and even with humor, I think that helps the situation. That helps the haunting.
Yeah. Yeah. Shayla said she loved the pictures from the cabin event in Kimberly. I can feel the atmosphere change. I can too. In a second, I'll tell somebody if I feel an energy shift, I'll be like, I'm feeling the energy shift, because the reading that I did today, it went from this person that was so excited to somebody else. And I'm like, oh, I don't know who this one is. So, you can feel the different shifts in energy. And I'm sure that y'all can pick up on that too. Energy shifts.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Besides you.
I feel the weather changed my bones.
I keep telling him if he hangs around me long enough, he's going to turn into my metaphysical fairy. So it's a very slow process.
Come to the dark side. We have cookies.
Yes. Come.
I hope nobody I went to high school with is watching this or listening to this. The metaphysical fairy.
Yeah, you're going to be a metaphysical fairy. Bing.
Yeah. Is that a new gender class now?
Yes, it's my new gender class. It is. And David Flowers is my first student. Metaphysical fairy.
Metaphysical fairy.
Yes.
I feel pretty.
You'll be all right.
Good God.
We're not going to let that one go.
Yeah, let's let that one go.
No, we're not.
Take care, you're fired. You're fired.
Yeah, okay. That'll be what, the 5th time I've been fired now? I mean, I botched the tour. I'm good.
I keep firing, keep coming back. Kind of like a bad penny.
Or a residue haunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll come back and haunt you. Better watch out. See, we got about 4 minutes left. There was one topic I know that you wanted to discuss, but now I don't remember what it was. John Savage. At 5 minutes and 5 minutes or 4 minutes and 54 seconds left. Shiny penny, that's right. I find those everywhere.
I'm thinking, I don't remember what it was.
I should have written it down, but you know what? It's probably with that particular topic we'll probably have to save it for like when we do our next paranormal roundtable, because it was an interesting topic. And earlier I tried to go back up into the messages and find it, and I couldn't find it.
Was it the skull experiment?
Was that it? Yeah. No, it was that, but it was something else. I'll have to go back in and look, because we don't have too much time before Ryan has to get on the air, and I guess I'll just write it down. It was that, but there was something else too. And now I can't remember what it was, and you just put it in there, or did we talk about it already? I didn't think we did.
The other thing I remember was the demons versus ghosts and Paradoia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But the other one was the skull experiment, or whatever you said it was, up at the top. I got to go look at the other part of it.
Yeah, I don't remember. Old age is kicking in again. I'm having a senior citizen moment.
I can't say you're having a blonde moment, because yeah.
Here, let me put my tinfoil tiara back on, and maybe it'll help me.
All right, if we beam together, you might be able to remember something.
on. Put it on quick.
You need to fix your hat
I'll
some.
tell you that.
Are we remembering?
Yeah, I remember Kimberly put down the skull experiment.
Yeah, that was it.
I mean,
That was one
talking about
topic.
Yeah.
But that we can't even begin to get into that topic at 2 minutes and 5 seconds left because it's going to start doing a countdown and I'm going to be kicked off. Or I got to kick myself off. Or at least I have to kick myself off of Blog Talk.
Wait next time. So what do you guys, real quick, what do you guys got coming up for your tours?
David Flowers.
Yeah. Got the tours Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 9 p.m. You cannot call in for the tickets. You have to actually go to the activities desk. $15 a piece. They'll sell you tickets all the way up to showtime.
Well, and then as far as
Address is
go.
address 3601 Ironbound Road, Williamsburg.
Do private investigations too.
It's a good place.
Thanks, Petrie. 59 seconds. We got can you talk about the private investigations there too real quick, please?
Yeah. If you want to do a private investigation, it's $250 for up to 5 people. Then it's $50 a person after that. And if you do it Friday night, that's probably your best night. You'll get from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Let me hang. I'm going to hang up on Blog Talk real quick and let Ryan go ahead and start his episode. I appreciate everybody on the air that's on the switchboard that tuned into Vibe Time with Jerry. And I'll see y'all next week with So Royal. I'm Unique, and hopefully she don't kill the show. We'll see. So I'm going to end my episode and just go right into StreamYard. Thanks. I'm going to hang that up. I cut somebody off. Sorry. And then let's see. Continue. Then I don't have to worry about. Yeah.
There we
go. Now I can here on StreamYard.
I can have my hot cup of tomato soup.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, cold cup of tomato soup. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what we'll be next week's Vibe Time with Jerry. I'll have my girlfriend on from New York. So Royal, I'm Unique. I call her Third Eye Sister because we can read each other's thoughts from afar.
I'm not trying to cause a stir, but it's when it comes to the paranormal and kids, I get really defensive because again, unless there was someone constantly training them.
Yeah. You're not creating a stir. You're creating an interesting topic of discussion with it.
I mean, if someone says, it's a paranormal camp for kids, it's like, okay, that's up there with Bible camp. Yeah.
You're not creating a stir with it. It's topics that we people can discuss, and you're not creating anything that's bad. But I'm going to get off of the Facebook part of StreamYard with our Paranormal Roundtable part of it. Kimberly wants to talk about, what is that, Kim? I can't see that word. Ideometer? Write it down.
Idiometer, ideo.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll have to figure out what that is. All these terms. All right, so we have skull. And then
oh, okay. It's a phenomena which is a psychological phenomena where a subject makes motions unconsciously.
Okay.
And
it sounds like epilepsy.
Yeah, abbreviated to IMR, it is a concept in hypnosis and psychological research.
Interesting.
Boy,
Okay.
you know what? I'm going to bookmark this, and I'm going to have to read up on it.
Yeah, I will too. Well, actually, I'll have Kimberly explain it to me.
I mean,
Yes, we know.
it almost looks like, it's something that's related to using like a Ouija board when you have a whole bunch of people's hands on it. Are you subconsciously moving the item? If I'm
Yeah,
reading this right, you know what?
yeah.
I'll read up on
Yeah,
that.
we'll research that because I'm going to end
Yeah.
the live broadcast. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Vibe Time with Jerry, and thanks for tuning in to Facebook Live. These are some of the topics that we'll be bringing up. Our Paranormal Roundtable discussion is the first Tuesday of every month, and it starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you ever have any questions, you're more than welcome to call into the switchboard. And that number is 516-387-1922. And you just press 1 if you want your question, or put it in the comments down below with Facebook, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions or any topics or any ideas y'all have. Please put it in the comments so that we can, research it and talk about it. So I appreciate the support from you guys, and I'll talk to y'all later.